So hello, Gemini. This reading is for Gemini. Singles love reading or looking for love or curious about love. Any of the love words, but we will be looking at relationships. And this is for May, middle of May to middle of June-ish, months period of time. We're going to take a look at current situation, past and present influences, negative and positive influences, what we don't see, the challenge that we'll be facing this month, and future influence and outcome. I will clarify if needed. I'm using Lightseer today, and I do personal readings. Link to my website is below with my reading options are all there. And give me a minute. What does our Geminis need to know about a romantic love situation? What do they need to know? What does our Gemini need to know? Okay. What does our Gemini need to know today? Current situation, Four of Cups, past influence, Ten of Wands, present influence, Seven of Pentacles, negative, Temperance, positive, King of Swords, what we don't see, Seven of Wands, challenge, full future influence, Seven of Swords, and outcome I will keep to myself for a while. So bottom of the deck is Eight of Pentacles. So some of you may be really healing from a past relationship. This also could be that you're focused on studies, depending kind of, we'll see how the reading goes, but because of some of the cards, I feel like it's more about healing, and because it is a love reading, I do feel like it's more about healing. But it's about getting to know yourself. So I think overall you are spending the time getting to know yourself, and you know what you want, what you don't want. The Eight of Pentacles is all about practicing, mastering, really working at something, but it's about learning it and then practicing it until you become good at it. So your current situation is Four of Cups, and I feel like there may be someone in your life that you just isn't really it. Like, it feels okay. It might be, or someone that might be trying to court you, or that might be coming on to you. Yeah, they're okay, not great, not really what you want, or you're just plain bored. Four of Cups to me is really about boredom, but more importantly, sometimes it's not seeing the bigger picture. And that's why I always say the Four of Cups leads to the Five of Cups, because we're not appreciating what's around us and what we have. And if we don't look at the gifts being handed to us, then sometimes that's when we can lead to that Five of Cups feeling of despair and depression and loss to some degree. So, this is where you're at. You're just kind of like, meh. It feels like that. Like, it's not bad. It's not good. It's just, so you are looking for something. I do feel like, well, let's get on, but I do, yeah. I mean, I don't know that I do feel like this is almost someone that you're like, you have an option, but it's not necessarily the option that you want. The past influence is the Ten of Wands. So there was something that you've been working really hard at. I will say that. And I do feel like that this Ten of Wands does leads to this present influence, which is the Seven of Pentacles, where you've worked really hard and now there is seeds being planted, and there is something that you're touching or working towards. Um, let's see. But I still feel like this is really about healing too. But there is someone. I do feel like the King of Swords could be someone. Um, oh, maybe. But it could be. I mean, we'll get to it. But I do feel like there is some kind of seeds being planted on what you want. So whatever it is you're looking for, which isn't what you have, you have kind of started that process. And I do feel like the Ten of Wands reminds us that the healing probably is coming to an end. We all heal all of the time. I feel like there's always something we're healing from to some one degree or another. Even if it's not that we're working really hard at it and our life is like in a really good spot, we might not be focused on healing, but healing is an ongoing thing. So, but I do believe this is from something specific, and I do feel like you've done the hard work, and I think you're ready for something that you really truly want. So if there is someone in your life that's not like you have an option, but it's not what you want, then that's okay. And I do feel like there is seeds now. This is present influence. So there is something growing right now that you have intended to grow. It's an intention. So you are willing to spend the time taking care of it. Your negative influence is the temperance. So there's a part of you that is not staying emotionally balanced in this whole situation and this healing process, and not staying emotionally balanced with what you want versus what you think you have, or what is being handed to you. There's this. I feel like what is influencing you in a negative sense is that you're not staying even with your wants, your desires versus your needs versus what you have. All of those things need to kind of be balanced out in your head. And what it's doing is just causing, in some sense, some unrealistic expectations in your love life. And it's not like a bad thing. It's just something that you need to look at and go, okay, what do I really want? What do I really need? Start making those notes, writing down the pros and cons, and see where you're really at in your love situation, or this relationship that you're pretty sure that you don't want. So your positive influence is the King of Swords. I do feel like this is an energy. Is it a love? Maybe not. But I do feel like it is an energy that is, I feel like, keeping you kind of true to you, like keeping you on the straight and narrow. So there is an influence here in the background. I think you do know about them. I think it's someone you probably reach out to regularly, that's kind of helping you with that negative, kind of all over the place, kind of trying to keep you focused on what you really want, what you really need, kind of keeping you in check. So it is there. You do have that influence there for you. I still think it's a struggle, but that's okay. I mean, I think it's fine. Like, it's okay that it's a struggle. So what you don't see is Seven of Wands, and I do feel like this is a little bit about that you have reached a point where you're healing, but what you don't see is the time that you need to really embrace the decision making process here. Taking the time out, standing up for what you really want, but understanding what you really want, because I feel like that negative influence of the temperance tells me that. And I do feel like that feeling of, so there is some clarity coming in here, but it comes from you taking that time. And I think what you don't see is that you are doing this more than you realize, but I do believe that temperance card is getting in your way as far as keeping up this work and to understand what truly is what you want and standing up for what you want and believe in in a love situation or in a partnership or in a relationship of any kind. So I do feel like you're working through this, and what you don't see is that you are working through it more than you probably know. And I think this is what's helping. Whether this is you or another energy, but I do feel like it's another energy, a person, a friend, family member, somebody that's important to you, that's kind of keeping you on the straight and narrow as far as your emotions and what you want and what you don't want, and kind of going all over the place with that. Your challenge is the Fool. So there's a part of you that is afraid to take that leap of faith. So that's the challenge. Do I just go for it or not? And that is a challenge. And I think it's really challenging you. There's an opportunity here. And I think that could be, we're going back to your current situation, what you don't see. Part of why you are feeling that way is, do I take the plunge? Do I take that leap of faith? Do I just go without completely understanding and not knowing? It's a challenge, but I do feel like also with what you don't see being the Seven of Wands, you will kind of figure this out over a little bit of time. I mean, not instantly, but I don't think long term either, because your future influences the Seven of Swords. And a lot of times I see this as taking back what's yours. I also feel like, too, though, there is something happening behind the scenes that you are not seeing. This is somebody else. I don't think someone's stealing from you. I'm not getting this negative influence with this Seven of Swords. It's more like, you see how he's kind of like crouched and he's walking and kind of hiding, but this little birdie is like warning you, hey, this guy's here. So I do feel like there is something happening with somebody that you're not really seeing. But I think, again, it has to go back to that Four of Cups. When we're in that kind of position in our head and in our heart, we're not always open to what's going on around us, and we can have tunnel vision. And when we have tunnel vision, there could be things happening around us that we're not paying attention to. And I think that's kind of what's happening here. And what's going to happen is, I think, because of the outcome, that you're going to, understand this, what's happening behind you. And when I say behind you, it's just that you don't see it. I really don't think this is negative. I think it's actually positive. But I think what the card is telling me, that this bird is going, look at me, look at me. And so I think it's just something that you're not seeing. It's like totally glazed over here. But with the outcome, I think you do. You have that, oh, there you are. That's what I've been looking for. That's what I've been waiting for. I just didn't see it because I was afraid to take the leap. I was in my head over here. So I feel like you're going to see it. Like, this is going to be a moment where it is, well, an aha moment, clarity, and then you'll see the truth and you'll understand it. And I do feel like this is that exact thing, that someone's walking off in the background and you're not seeing it. And then I do love that. I've never seen that before, with the bird going, I'm here, I'm here. But yeah, so I do feel like this is going to be really clear to you in the near future. And you'll get past this energy, because a lot of the cards that are happening up at the top, with the Ten of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, Four of Cups, even the Seven of Wands, and even the Temperance, those are all have to do with, the work that you're doing on your healing process and getting to know yourself and understanding what you really want. And this is all about, learning something to the point where you truly understand it. So I feel like you will get somewhere, and soon, because this isn't going to be too far off. And there you have it. I hope that this resonated with you, Gemini. If it did, let me know. Leave a message, a comment, or hit the like button. All of it helps. I appreciate it, and have a beautiful day.